okay, on the last day of my shoot on that HBO, it's like a few days before I fly to uh to the US. I'm like looking around at my guys, my electrics, and I'm like, hey, can I buy that glove off of you? And he's like, what? This is like really dirty, like leather glove. And I'm like, I can't, I don't know how to explain it to you, but basically, I don't want to come standing with like
Too clean.
too
Yeah.
clean gloves. And I'm like, he's like, yeah, you just go on this website. It's like really cheap, like Amazon basically. And he's like, buy that. And he's like, okay, let's look at that. I'm gonna give you a little bit more money to go find your new glove. Let me have that one. He's like confused, like why I would do that.
Yeah.
So I show up on Oklahoma, and people knew I was a little green, but I kind of knew my way around like light mats and the things that were using like LEDs and even like a little bit on the DMX side of things.
Mhm.
But I had no idea how to like work a 4K lamp or anything like
Sure.
that.
Yeah.
But people knew, and they were very kind of like teaching me. And then months into the process, I got better, and we had this conversation of like I told them like, okay, guys, this is what I did. You guys knew I'm just basically a skinny little DP, and who's like, I had to buy this glove off this dude like right after this HBO series I just shot,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, actually, there's one more guy on the team who's kind of like who showed up with clean gloves, and I remember exactly thinking, at least this Pithai kid, he's got gloves he's worked on. I'm like, yeah, man, I bought that from a guy.
That's brilliant.
So yeah.
That's really smart, dude. That's really smart.
It's good to
Sometimes,
know what your crew goes through.
yes.
And Rodrigo Pietro, he's a master to watch, and he's amazing as in like kind individual.
Yeah.
And I still remember this day. He was like looking for a wide shot, and
Mm-hmm.
people had already set up in this wide field already.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like looking on his phone, Artemis, and he's like walking backwards a little bit. And I can remember myself seeing like more stuff we gotta move. Oh my gosh, I see what people are looking at me on
Yeah.
set now to do. So it shows that you have to be nice, be kind, and like
Yeah.
understand your crew and what you're gonna ask them to do.
Yes.
So that job for me just solidifies all of that. So I'm really happy I got my chance to work on that.
That's a life changer for sure. Yeah. I mean, I feel like also if you if you can pretty much do anything on set a little bit just to get comfortable with it, especially even acting. Like I know that seems to me like the best directors are people that have acted before because they know how to speak to actors, and relate to them in that fashion. Even Scorsese is like a really good actor. He knows exactly how to speak to actors. So that's incredible, man. Good on you, dude. That's great. So you went from Killers of the Flower Moon, that's just wild, to The Creator, right? Those are incredibly different films. But is there anything that you learned from Prieto and Scorsese on Killers of the Flower Moon that you took with you over to The Creator?
Um, they're a completely different film in the fact that their approach very different. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, the Scorsese movie, the lighting, I'm not. It's mature lighting, as in like we're doing this, we're shooting this on film. We know how to make this look good. We know how to
Mm-hmm.
like go off of our traditional ways a little bit. So I was like just enthralled, and like I'm always I'm a younger-ish guy who tries to like go back to the more mature kind of approach of
Mm-hmm.
filmmaking because I admire that, and I think there's something good about that.
Mm-hmm.
And I jump into the creator, which is like I would always call it like the cinematic live play, which is
Mm-hmm.
the way we shoot is completely different.
Mm-hmm.
And um, what I learned from the crew on Killers of the Flower Moon was that our electric team had such a eccentricity that together that one guy is good on this, he's not great on that. This other guy is good on this. I even had like my own specialty,
Mm-hmm.
like there's a gal Nancy, which I met on this show, which I brought to the creator in Thailand,
Mm-hmm.
which like this team thing, it needs to be right for the
Mm-hmm.
job. And I think that gave me an idea to do like their creator in another, like we crew up our electric team in like a weird way.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, I knew that what Greg was saying, like this show is not going to be the normal show that you have done. And I'm like, okay, well, I can be scrappy. That's cool. But he's like, no, 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 no. This will be like even more different. He explained to me, and I'm like talking to Oren, and like, okay, who do I actually hire for this job? in the end, we hired two of my normal electric dudes who I sometimes work with as gaffer,
Mm-hmm.
who can rig and do little actual safety things on set.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the crew, I brought Nancy on from Nashville, and she joined me in Thailand to do this job because I was in love with working with her in Killers of the Flower Moon. She had a great attitude. I just know she'll do well on this shoot. So she came over, and the rest of the team I hired like interns, including Pete, the
Yeah.
guy I work with,
Yeah.
interns who are DPs and shooting their own film actually. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, hey man, there's this job.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you want to work electric a little bit? Just figure out how to do
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
And they trusted me enough to like join.
Mm-hmm.
So my electricians were like basically DPs on their own right.
Mm-hmm.
And that worked out so well because the way Gareth and Oren was shooting was like Gareth would just like we would light 360 degrees and we have little pieces of light ready for whatever angle that Gareth would ever shoot.
Mm-hmm.
And he would swing around and we would hear him talk on his little mic and we would know that he's turning this way. And all the DP electrics that we are on our team were like looking on the monitor on their phone
Mm-hmm.
and they know how to light.
Mm-hmm.
So they figure out when he turns this way, there's like certain things you have to do to make that look good. I mean, Gary would turn around and it would be like, he would hold the camera and kept rolling and just, he knows enough to wait for a second and then it kind of got better looking and then he would just keep going.
Mm-hmm.
So it was definitely like a play, as in like our stage hand, we're the stage
Like a
hand,
dance,
like
yeah.
figuring out, okay, DMX, did you have that little light back there in the little corner? It's that one. And then we would just do that. So I credit that team the best on why that creator worked out for us as a show. So yeah.